Alright, boys, I'm back. And this time, I'm gonna talk to you about the worst aspects of Triple H's booking. So let's get right into it. First thing we gotta bring up when we discuss Triple H's booking style are the therapy sessions wrestlers have on TV right now. Are we watching a wrestling show or a sitcom? And it's never anything with heat behind it. It's always just the most bland stuff you've ever heard. It's always just Seth Rollins complaining and crying about something or talking about how he has the money in the bank and how he can win the title whenever he wants. It's never anything interesting that keeps the crowd excited. And because it is the opening of the show, you know how they say first impressions matter? Imagine if you're not a wrestling fan and then you just see Raw on Netflix and you decide to give it a shot. And when you open Raw expecting to watch some wrestling, you see Seth Rollins in a goofy ass outfit standing in the middle of the ring talking about his feelings for 20 minutes. I would click off too. The only reason I don't click off on that shit is because I find it funny seeing Seth Rollins cry and moan. Same thing with SmackDown. Every WWE show has more talking than wrestling in it. It is always just talk, talk, and talk. Is the crowd a fucking therapist or what? And it's also not even a funny, insulting conversation between the wrestlers that ends in a brawl. Most of the time, they just have a respectable conversation with each other, saying how much they respect each other, and then they just walk away. What is this weak sauce, bro? Back in the good old days when a Stone Cold came out to talk, you knew that that talking session was gonna end with somebody getting stunned in the middle of the ring. But now they just run and run and run their mouths non-stop, and then nothing happens. There's always no payoff in today's WWE. There's always just a tease. They're just teasing you. They just come out and talk, and you think something good, something interesting, something entertaining will happen. But no, they just talk. And then when they are done talking, they just walk away from each other. They don't even throw a stupid looking punch. They just walk away. The promos really need to be cut down or need to be made entertaining. If you're gonna have talking sessions, that's fine. Have them, but at least make it entertaining. Every wrestler comes out and says nothing. They just spew out some word salad like they're politicians and nothing gets done. He really needs to change up how he books promos and how promos are ended. While they love having these long promos to open up all these shows with no action, just talk, 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 you might at least think that they could get their lines out there. But no, not only are these promos boring and dull, but there's botches in them all the time. Everybody botches on the mic now. And yes, I do understand it's live TV and sometimes somebody might fumble a word or forget a line, but that's not it. People make stupid mistakes on the mic. Like a few weeks back, the GM of Raw said Rhea Ripley was a member of Judgment Day. It has been years since Rhea Ripley has been in the Judgment Day. The current storyline when he said that was Rhea Ripley having beef with the Judgment Day. Why does this keep happening? Back in the good old days when McMahon was in charge, if somebody even said a different word from what they were supposed to say, he would have lost his mind. Heads would have rolled that day. But now in Triple H's WWE, you can make a big ass mistake like that, ruining a whole storyline, and it's fine. It's just treated like, what you gotta do? Mistakes happen. Waka waka. Like, no, bro, no. You gotta work with your employees to make sure these things don't happen. You're on live TV. You have one shot and make it count. But you can't allow promo mistakes to happen like that. It ruins kayfabe, it ruins the product, and it makes everybody look stupid, which is the worst part. When these people come out and all they do is talk, they have to be good at talking. If all they do is talk and they fuck up at talking, it makes them look stupid. It makes the product look bush league and less professional. They need to work on these promos too. They need to get some acting coaches, go over lines a lot more or something, but they can't be allowing big mistakes like that to be happening on promos like it's nothing. Another aspect that has become very noticeable in today's WWE when Triple H took over is that the amount of ring botches and mistakes that happen in the ring are off the charts right now. Just alone in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, there were botches non-stop. Julia and Roxanne Perez were messing up every other move. And yes, botches are gonna happen in the ring. It is what it is, but recently they have been happening more and more more. And like, you have to wonder, do they not have trainers? Do they not go over their matches? Are wrestlers not talking to each other? What is happening backstage that all these mistakes are happening in front of the crowd? Best example, the WrestleMania match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. This is a WrestleMania match. You have to be on the top of your game. And they went out there for 20 minutes and it was a car crash. It was the worst match of WrestleMania. There were botches nonstop. Moves were not getting done. Communication between the wrestlers was not there. And you could tell that during that match, those two did not like each other. And yes, you will not like everybody you work with. But if you are a professional wrestler that makes stupid fucking money that most people won't see in their lifetime, you have to learn how to talk with your coworker and make a match look good when people are paying you to wrestle. You can't go out there, shit the bed for 20 minutes, go back there, get high fives from everybody and say, good show, good show. No, that match was an utter failure and both of them should have gone back there and thought about what happened and how that could never happen. Tiffany Stratton gave a show like that at WrestleMania. She does not deserve the title. She should have lost the title next week on Raw just to teach her that she can't shit the bed on the biggest show of the year. Same thing with Charlotte. She is the veteran. She should have helped Tiffany Stratton, but it's not Charlotte's job to make sure Tiffany is good at her job. Both of these women need to learn how to communicate with each other in the ring so matches like that never happen again. But it's not just them. Everybody in the WWE right now needs to learn how to communicate. And the first person that needs to start that ball is Triple H. As the booker, he is the guy responsible for making sure the matches that he is booking go off with no problem. So he needs to start making sure that his wrestlers are communicating with each other so the matches that he's booking can be executed perfectly on live TV. Another thing that I really hate about Triple H's booking is the security guards. Every week, you know that there are gonna be at least security guards or refs coming out there to stop a stupid looking brawl. And why do they do this? Why do they do this? Why don't they let wrestlers fight each other? That is the whole point. That is what the crowd is here to watch. They want to see some action. They don't want to see 20 minutes of talking, 3 punches thrown, 3 very shitty looking punches thrown, might I add, and then 5 security guards come out and fail to pull 2 people apart. Not only is it a massive cock tease that these security guards come out and stop all the fun, but it also makes the product look stupid and fake. The security guards need to be cut back or at least replaced. Don't have security guards, have refs. And when the refs cannot stop the fight, that makes a lot more sense because they're refs. Another aspect of his booking style that I cannot stand are the weird dates that he picks for title matches. They've been doing this for the past months now, where they have the champion talk to a challenger, and the champion for some reason is giving a challenger a title shot, but it's always on the weird date, and they describe it weirdly. They never should say, oh, me and you are gonna have a title match at Money in the Bank. No, she's like, we're gonna have a title match on Raw the night after Money in the Bank. What is the point of that? Why are you not having your title match on the pay-per-view? Why are you throwing in a random title match with no storyline or feud behind it on a random episode of Raw? Like, I know we said we want title matches on Raw, but we want title matches on Raw that have storylines and reasons to happen there, not just a title match is happening there just to happen. Also, it makes it sound so stupid when a champion goes up to a challenger and say, me and you are gonna have a match for the title on the episode of Raw after Money in the Bank. Like, bro, why can't we not do it in Money in the Bank at the bigger stage? Why do we have to do it on Raw? Triple H needs to learn how to build up storylines. He can't just be throwing random ass title matches on a random episode of Raw and calling it a day. Is he using the 2K manager mode to book his shows? The biggest aspect that I cannot stand when it comes to how Triple H books his shows are the constant interferences that we have in matches these days. No big match in today's WWE goes off with no interference. There were interferences on the Cena match at Night of Champions and at the US title match on Night of Champions. There's non-stop interference, and it just takes out of the match when that happens. Interference should be a special kind of thing. It should be a one-time thing in a show to give that match a bit of extra oomph to it. But when you have random interferences at every match, it just makes the show annoying and frustrating to watch. What is the biggest thing that people don't like about Vince Russo's booking? His constant interference and his constant change up of storylines out of nowhere for no rhyme or reason. That is basically what Triple Triple H is doing right now. Triple H is on the same level that people complain when it comes to Vince Russo. If Vince Russo was booking, people will be calling him to get fired. But when Triple H does it and does it worse, for some reason nobody really complains except me. I like complaining, so I'm gonna keep complaining. So he really needs to cut down on interferences. Cut limited to one match per show. One match per show should have interferences and not always the main event. We should get a John Cena match where he just wrestles and wins like a normal wrestler. He does not need to be cheating, hiding behind somebody, or expecting somebody to run in to help him. It is John Cena. We believe that he can win, so have him win so we can make this title reign a little bit more interesting. Now, the biggest aspect that I don't like about Triple H and his booking style is the fact that storylines and feuds no longer exist in the WWE. We just have match after match with no rhyme or reason behind it and just two promos, and that is the storyline we get. The Cena and CM Punk match should have been massive. It should have been one of the biggest matches in WWE, but it was just a wet fart. Same thing for Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. It should have had a feud, it should have had a story behind it, but no, it just had random interferences. People will not keep watching this show if there's no juiciness behind it. The only reason wrestling is popular is because of the storylines behind the matches. If there is no storyline, there's no point of watching the match because everybody knows that the match is fake now. Everybody knows that the match is predetermined and these guys are not really hurting each other. What is the only thing to get invested in is the storyline. If the company didn't kill kayfabe and didn't go on its own TV and said how fake everything was, maybe we could enjoy wrestling matches with no storyline. But since everybody now knows that wrestling is fake, we gotta have something behind those matches to make it interesting. Watching two grown men pretend to fight each other with no rhyme or reason is not entertaining or interesting. Vince McMahon knew that better than everybody else. That's why the best year of this company is when storylines were off the charts and matches had big feuds behind them. But now with no feuds and no storylines, the matches feel dull, the shows are lifeless, and you can tell that everybody there just doesn't want to be there. So the biggest thing that Triple H needs to fix is that he needs to take a creative writing class and learn how to make some storylines. And those are all the aspects of Triple H's booking that I cannot stand. Thank you all for watching.